Hey guys, welcome to this would be, I guess, the ninth of this series of Shapeways reviews. And right here we've got the this one's from Wheeljack's lab. This is the Ironfist conversion kit for the Revenge of the Fallen Ratchet mold. This one actually I made from the I think it was Hunt for the Decepticons Rescue Ratchet. It was one of the ones that had those really awful mech tech weapons, which he still has his, but I used one of the packaging rubber bands to basically have that thing have it permanently in weapon mode. Yeah, anybody who's had those things knows that the terrible thing about them is that yay, they've got two modes, but they've got no freaking way to lock, which just made them terrible overall. Um, yeah. So the kit itself, it consists of new fists, a brand new abdomen piece, which fills in like a huge gap in Ratchet, and also helps kind of make it appear that he's got some sort of torso. And on top of that, it has your choice of a head. I went with it's hard to see on camera, but I went with the bullet hole head just because I like that one better. It gives him more personality. Um, and yeah, like I mean, obviously, as like many people, I was very much influenced. I'm very much influenced by the media that the figures and characters come from. I never really understood people who just judge harshly people who collect stuff based on modern comic books. I mean, when you were a kid, you were basing your collection based upon the media you were watching, or you were just buying whatever you thought looked cool. But yeah, I love this kit. I feel like this is definitely, this to date, this is the superior Iron Fist conversion. Well, it's the superior Iron Fist that's out to date, that is within a reasonable budget. I have seen some people do theirs. However, some of them require a higher skill gap, whereas others, they don't. This one, it just required me to paint, which I was perfectly okay with. There was no real modifications to the figure I needed to do. It was just paint work. And I really wish I had gotten the original one, just because I feel like the green would have been a lot easier to paint over than the red. Because this figure was in 90% red with 10% white, and some of this stuff just did not. It did not want to be painted over, which was very difficult. But this is also one of my earliest. If I don't know what my earliest Shapeways custom would be, but this is definitely going way back. I might have to dig in deeper to find some other ones, but yeah, this one's also one of my favorites though. Wheeljack's Lab knocked it out of the park. Very sad to see that he has not continued with his Shapeways stuff, but from my understanding, at least around that time, he was contacted by third-party companies and eventually became a designer. So his work got him noticed, I believe. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong there, but it seemed like things worked out well for the guy, and couldn't really be happier for him. It was just a shame because it was right after this came out. He also had this like on Facebook. I saw that he was posting some masterpiece style conversion sets for the Generations Inferno and Grapple molds, which just looked amazing. I mean, they straight up, like height increase, body kits to convert to the Mitsubishi Fuso, headpieces, like literally anything that you could have wanted at that point in time for a Masterpiece Inferno and Grapple, like, was in that kit. And it was a conversion set. This was all 3D printed stuff. And he had talked about, like, having the kits released 3 different ways, because the only way he could figure out to do it as somewhat of a cost-effective measure was to split the kits into separate, you'd actually split the kits into separate, smaller kits, so you'd have to build it as you go, which I honestly, like, I liked that idea. I liked it. Sometimes I can't really, put down $200 to $300 here and there whenever I need to. So the idea of being able to, kind of gradually build these guys up appealed to me. But I think that one got canceled just because of logistics. But I mean, the guy has done some awesome work with 3D design. Unfortunately, not a lot of it's up on his Shapeways store right now. What is up is spectacular. This is my favorite piece out of all of it, and I really do hope more of you guys check this out if you haven't already. But that being said, there's not really anything else I can say about this guy. I love how he turned out. The kit itself is very easy to install. And I mean, at the time, this was a very, very common figure. Like, this is one of those, it was clogging up the shelves in all the Family Dollars, the Walmarts, the Myers, all around here. And it was just a nice way for me to grab something that was so very much readily available. I always love it when people are able to do those and make these figures that are just sitting around for forever, and all of a sudden give me a reason to have them. Would have been nice to see that done with, like, all the mud flaps and skids that were hanging around and all those movie bumblebees, but you can only work so many miracles. There was nothing that anybody could do to save those and make them the least bit desirable. But this one, A1, A+, could not be happier with this thing. But as I was trying to say before, this has been King Cheerio. I am signing off, and I will see you guys in the next one.